My friend, I want you to pause everything you are doing right now and consider the most profound question any human mind has ever dared to ask. Who created God? Think about this carefully. If God created the heavens and the earth, if God created the stars that burn across infinite space, if God created the mountains and the seas and the breath within your lungs, then who created God? Where did this infinite intelligence come from? What existed before existence itself? This question has haunted philosophers for thousands of years. It has kept mystics awake through endless nights. It has driven scientists to the edge of reason itself. And yet, my friend, the answer to this question is not hidden in some distant temple or locked away in some ancient manuscript. The answer is closer to you than your own heartbeat. The answer is within you right now, waiting to be discovered, waiting to transform every dimension of your life, waiting to unlock wealth, health, and happiness beyond anything you have ever imagined. You see, when you truly understand who and what God is, when you truly grasp the nature of the infinite intelligence that created all things, you will understand something magnificent about yourself. You will understand why you have the power to manifest money, to heal your body, to attract love, to create success, and to live in a state of permanent abundance. This is not mere philosophy. This is the key to unlocking the treasure house of your subconscious mind. So I ask you now, are you ready to discover the truth that will set you free forever? If you are watching this, you are not here by accident. The infinite intelligence within you has guided you to this moment. Subscribe to this channel right now. Press that like button. Leave a comment below telling me what area of your life you most want to transform. Wealth, health, love, success. Tell me in the comments and then settle in, because what you are about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about God, about creation, about yourself, and about the infinite power you possess to create the life of your dreams. Let us begin this sacred journey together, my friend, and let us begin with the question that has echoed through the corridors of human consciousness since the first man looked up at the stars and wondered about his place in the universe. If God created everything, who created God? This question seems to lead us into an infinite regression, does it not? If something created God, then what created that something, and what created the creator of the creator? The human mind, trained in the logic of cause and effect, naturally seeks a first cause, a beginning, an origin point from which all things flow. But here is the great revelation that I want to plant in your consciousness right now. The question itself is based on a misunderstanding of what God truly is. You see, my friend, the God we speak of in the great metaphysical traditions, the God spoken of by the mystics and the illuminated minds throughout history, is not a being who exists within time and space as you and I appear to exist. God is not an old man sitting on a throne somewhere in the sky, creating things the way a carpenter builds a table. No, my friend, God is infinite mind. God is eternal consciousness. God is the very fabric of existence itself. God is the I am that always was, always is, and always shall be. When Moses stood before the burning bush and asked for the name of the divine presence, he received an answer that contains the key to everything you will ever need to understand about manifestation, about wealth, about healing, and about the nature of reality itself. God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Think about this carefully. God did not say, I was created by something greater. God did not say, I came into being at some point in the past. God said, I am that I am. This is the eternal present tense. This is existence itself declaring its own nature. This is consciousness recognizing itself as the source and substance of all that is. And here is the magnificent truth that will unlock the treasure house of your subconscious mind. That same I am presence lives within you right now. The Bible tells us clearly that the kingdom of heaven is within you. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. He was not speaking of himself as separate from you. He was revealing the truth about the nature of consciousness itself. The same God that Moses encountered in the burning bush, the same infinite intelligence that spoke the worlds into being, lives and moves, and has its being within you. Now let us go deeper, my friend, because this is not merely theological speculation. This is the foundation of all wealth manifestation, all healing, and all success in life. When you understand that God is infinite mind, and when you understand that your subconscious mind is one with this infinite mind, you will understand why your thoughts and beliefs have such creative power. Your subconscious mind is the medium through which the infinite intelligence operates in your personal life. It is the garden in which you plant seeds of thought that grow into the circumstances, conditions, and experiences of your existence. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7 tells us, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is not poetry. This is divine law. This is the way the universe actually operates. My great friend and contemporary Florence Scovel Shinn understood this truth magnificently. She taught that your word is your wand. What did she mean by this? She meant that the words you speak, the thoughts you habitually think, and the beliefs you hold in your subconscious mind are constantly creating your world. Every time you say "I am poor," you are using the sacred "I am" presence to create poverty in your experience. Every time you say "I am sick," you are commanding your subconscious mind to produce sickness in your body. Every time you say "I cannot afford it," you are closing the door to the infinite supply that is always seeking to flow into your life. But when you reverse this process, when you begin to say "I am wealthy," "I am healthy," "I am prosperous," "I am successful," you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into the conditions you desire. Let me tell you about a man who came to me many years ago in great financial distress. He was a businessman who had lost everything. His company had failed. His investments had disappeared. His bank account was empty. He was filled with fear and despair. He asked me, "Dr. Murphy, how can I possibly believe in abundance when I have nothing? How can I affirm wealth when I cannot pay my rent?" I said to him, "My friend, you must understand that the wealth you seek does not come from the outside world. The outside world is merely a mirror reflecting the contents of your subconscious mind. If you continue to think thoughts of poverty, you will continue to experience poverty. But if you will change your thought, you will change your world." I instructed him to begin a simple practice. Every night before falling asleep, and every morning upon awakening, he was to affirm quietly and with feeling, "Wealth is flowing to me now. I am a channel for infinite abundance. God is my instant and everlasting supply." I instructed him not to worry about how the wealth would come. I told him that the infinite intelligence within his subconscious mind knew exactly how to bring about the fulfillment of his desire, if only he would impress it with the right mental images and beliefs. This man was skeptical at first, as many are, but he was desperate enough to try, and so he began the practice faithfully. Every night, as he drifted into sleep, he repeated these affirmations with quiet conviction. Every morning, before the worries of the day could take hold of his mind, he filled his consciousness with thoughts of abundance and divine supply. Within 3 weeks, something remarkable happened. An old friend he had not spoken to in years contacted him out of the blue with a business opportunity. Within 2 months, he had a new source of income. Within 6 months, he was more prosperous than he had ever been in his life. Was this a miracle? In a sense, yes, but it was a miracle that operated according to divine law. His subconscious mind, impressed with the belief in abundance, attracted to him the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary to manifest that abundance in his life. Now, my friend, I want you to understand something crucial about this process. You are not begging an external God for favors. You are not trying to convince some distant deity to give you what you want. You are working with the law of your own subconscious mind. You are using the same creative power that God used to create the universe. And this brings us back to our central question. Who created God? The answer is that God was not created. God is the uncreated, the self-existent, the eternal I am. And because you are made in the image and likeness of this infinite intelligence, because the same God presence that fills the universe fills you, you too possess the power to create. Not from nothing, as God created the cosmos, but through the medium of your subconscious mind, which responds to your habitual thoughts, beliefs, and mental images. The great psychologist Carl Jung, whose work I deeply respect, came to understand this truth from the perspective of modern psychology. Jung discovered that the subconscious mind which he called the unconscious, contains vast resources of wisdom, power, and creative intelligence that the conscious mind rarely accesses. He spoke of archetypes, of the collective unconscious, of the self that is greater than the ego. In his own way, Jung was pointing toward the same truth that the mystics have always known. There is something infinite within you. There is a power greater than your conscious mind. There is a presence that knows all, sees all, and can accomplish all. This is what I call the subconscious mind. This is what the Bible calls the kingdom of heaven within you. This is what the mystics call God immanent. Now let us explore how this understanding of God transforms your approach to money and wealth. You see, my friend, most people have a terribly distorted relationship with money. They think of money as something scarce, something difficult to obtain, something that other people have but they do not deserve. These thoughts, repeated over and over again, become beliefs impressed upon the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, which always works to create your outer world according to your inner beliefs, faithfully produces a life of scarcity, lack, and financial struggle. But when you understand that God is infinite supply, when you understand that the same intelligence that created the stars created money as a medium of exchange, when you understand that there is no shortage in the infinite mind, your relationship with money begins to transform. Listen carefully to these words from the book of Luke chapter 12, verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Do you understand what this means? It means that the infinite intelligence that created you wants you to be prosperous. It means that abundance is your divine birthright. It means that there is no virtue in poverty and no sin in wealth. God, the infinite mind, the great I Am, takes pleasure in your prosperity. When you are wealthy, when you are healthy, when you are successful and happy, you are expressing the fullness of the divine life within you. You are glorifying God not through suffering, but through abundant living. Napoleon Hill, whose book Think and Grow Rich has helped millions of people achieve financial success, discovered through his research that all wealthy people share certain mental characteristics. They have a definite major purpose. They hold their goal in their mind with intense focus and unwavering faith. They refuse to accept failure as permanent. They persist through obstacles until they reach their destination. What was Napoleon Hill really describing? He was describing the process of impressing the subconscious mind with a clear goal and maintaining that impression until the subconscious brings it into physical manifestation. He was describing the law of mind in action. He was pointing toward the same truths that I have taught throughout my career, truths that are rooted in the ancient wisdom of the scriptures and confirmed by the discoveries of modern psychology. Neville Goddard, another great teacher of mental science, put it this way: assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What did Neville mean? He meant that the key to manifestation is not merely thinking about what you want, but actually feeling as though you already have it. When you can close your eyes and feel the reality of wealth, when you can sense the peace and security and joy that come with financial freedom, when you can live in that feeling so completely that it seems more real than your current circumstances, you are impressing your subconscious mind at the deepest level. And the subconscious mind, which cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one vividly imagined, begins immediately to create the circumstances that correspond to your inner state. This is why I always teach my students to use the technique I call sleeping in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Just before you fall asleep at night, when your conscious mind is drowsy and your subconscious mind is most receptive, you should imagine yourself in a scene that implies your wish has already been granted. If you desire wealth, imagine yourself in a beautiful home that you own. Imagine yourself looking at a bank statement showing a magnificent balance. Imagine yourself giving generously to causes you believe in. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the security. Fall asleep in that feeling. When you do this consistently, you are planting seeds in the garden of your subconscious mind that must produce a harvest of abundance in your life. But now, my friend, let us go deeper still into the mystery of God and creation. I have told you that God is infinite mind, eternal consciousness, the I am that always was and always shall be. But what does this mean for your understanding of creation itself? You see, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is how the Gospel of John begins. What is this word? In the original Greek, the word is logos, which means reason, principle, or creative intelligence. Before anything was created, there was consciousness. Before the stars, before the planets, before light itself, there was the infinite mind contemplating itself, knowing itself, expressing itself. Creation is not something that happened once in the distant past. Creation is happening right now, in every moment. The infinite mind is eternally expressing itself through infinite forms. And you, my friend, are one of those forms. You are the infinite mind expressing itself as a unique individual. You are God appearing as a human being. This is the great secret that the mystics of all ages have discovered. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "The Father and I are one." This is what the Hindu sages meant when they said, "Atman is Brahman, the individual soul is one with the universal soul." This is what the Sufi poets meant when they sang of the lover and the beloved being one. You are not separate from God. You never have been, and you never could be. Separation from God is an illusion created by the limitations of the conscious mind. In reality, in the deepest truth of your being, you and the Father are one. Now, why is this understanding so important for wealth manifestation? Because as long as you believe that you are separate from God, as long as you think of yourself as a small, limited, powerless creature begging an external deity for help, you will continue to experience limitation in your life. But when you awaken to the truth of your oneness with the infinite, when you recognize that the same creative power that fashioned the galaxies flows through you, when you understand that your subconscious mind is one with the universal subconscious, you will begin to operate from an entirely different level of consciousness. You will stop begging and start commanding. You will stop hopping and start knowing. You will stop worrying and start creating. Let me share with you another remarkable case from my experience. A woman came to me who had struggled with poverty her entire life. She had been raised in a family where money was always scarce, where there was constant worry about bills, where the belief in lack was as thick as the air they breathed. She had internalized all of these beliefs and had created a life of perpetual financial struggle. When I explained to her the principles of the subconscious mind, she wept. She said, "Dr. Murphy, I have been doing this to myself my whole life. I have been creating my own poverty with my own thoughts." I said to her, "Yes, my dear, but now you understand, and now you can change." I gave her a simple affirmation to use daily. I am one with the infinite riches of the universe. Wealth flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. I am grateful for my abundant life. I instructed her to write this affirmation on cards and place them where she would see them throughout the day. I told her to repeat it with feeling whenever she noticed herself thinking thoughts of lack. The transformation in this woman was remarkable. Within a month, her attitude toward money had completely changed. She was no longer fearful and anxious. She was peaceful and expectant. Within 3 months, she received an unexpected inheritance from a distant relative she barely knew. Within a year, she had started a small business that provided her with more income than she had ever earned. She came to me with tears of joy and said, "Dr. Murphy, I understand now. God is not outside me deciding whether or not to bless me. God is within me, and my own thoughts and beliefs determine what I experience." I said to her, "You have discovered the truth that sets us free." My friend, this same truth is available to you right now. The question is, will you accept it? Will you begin to think and believe in accordance with the laws of the infinite mind? Will you stop cursing yourself with thoughts of poverty and start blessing yourself with thoughts of abundance? The choice is entirely yours. God has given you free will. The subconscious mind will produce whatever you impress upon it, whether good or ill. You are always planting seeds, whether you are conscious of it or not. The question is, what kind of seeds are you planting? Let us now consider the relationship between faith and wealth manifestation. The Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is one of the most powerful metaphysical statements in all of Scripture. Faith is substance. Faith is evidence. In other words, when you truly believe something, when you hold it in your mind with conviction and feeling, you are giving it substance in the subconscious realm before it appears in the physical realm. Your faith is the evidence, the proof, the guarantee that what you desire is on its way to you. Most people have this backwards. They think they need to see something before they can believe it. They say, "Show me the money, and then I will believe I am wealthy." But this is not how the law works. You must first believe, and then you will see. You must first have faith, and then the manifestation will come. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." What a powerful statement. Faith knows. Faith does not hope, wish, or wonder. Faith knows with absolute certainty that what has been impressed upon the subconscious mind must manifest in the outer world. And because faith knows, faith acts. If you truly believe you are wealthy, you will begin to act like a wealthy person. Not by spending money you do not have, but by walking in dignity, by expecting good things, by being generous in spirit, by refusing to think or speak words of poverty. Let me give you a practical technique that you can begin using immediately to build your faith in prosperity. Every day, I want you to spend at least 10 minutes in quiet meditation, visualizing yourself living your ideal financial life. See yourself in the home you desire. See yourself driving the car you want. See yourself giving generously to your church or your favorite charity. See yourself traveling to beautiful places. See yourself free from all financial worry. As you visualize, let yourself feel the emotions that would accompany this reality. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the peace, the freedom. Do not just see the picture in your mind. Feel it in your heart. When you do this consistently, you are building faith at the subconscious level. You are convincing your deeper mind that wealth is your reality, and the subconscious will begin to create circumstances that match this inner conviction. Now I want to address a question that many people have at this point. They say, "Dr. Murphy, this all sounds wonderful, but what about taking action? Am I supposed to just sit around visualizing all day and wait for money to fall from the sky?" My answer is this. The subconscious mind works through the actions you take in the world. When you impress your subconscious with a goal, it will guide you to take the right actions at the right time. You will feel inspired to do certain things. You will meet certain people. Opportunities will present themselves. Your job is to follow these leadings, to take action when you are prompted to do so. Visualization is not a substitute for action. Visualization prepares the way for effective action. It aligns your conscious and subconscious minds toward a common goal. It removes the inner blocks that would otherwise sabotage your efforts. It opens you to receive the guidance of infinite intelligence. The great businessman and industrialist Andrew Carnegie, whom Napoleon Hill interviewed at length for his research on success, understood this principle. Carnegie said that he always held a clear vision of his goals and maintained an unwavering faith in their achievement. But he also worked diligently, often putting in long hours to build his empire. The vision and the faith gave him direction and power. The action gave form to his vision. The combination of inner and outer work is the secret of all great achievement. Now, my friend, as we continue this exploration of the nature of God and the power of your subconscious mind, I want to emphasize once again that you are not a worm of the dust begging for crumbs from a reluctant deity. You are a magnificent expression of the infinite mind, endowed with all the creative powers of the cosmos. The God who created everything is not separate from you. The God who spoke the worlds into being speaks through you every time you say "I am." When you say "I am prosperous," you are invoking the creative power of the universe on your behalf. When you say "I am healthy," you are commanding your body to manifest health. When you say "I am successful," you are setting forces in motion that will lead you to success. This is not arrogance. This is the proper use of the divine power that has been placed within you. The question of who created God is answered when you realize that God is not a created being, but the eternal source of all creation. And the practical implication of this truth is revolutionary. You do not need to wait for God to decide to bless you. You do not need to beg or plead or bargain. The blessing is already given. The kingdom is already yours. Your job is simply to accept it, to believe it, to open your mind and heart to receive what has already been provided. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. This is already done in the infinite mind. Your task is to align your thoughts and beliefs with this divine truth, and the manifestation must follow as surely as day follows night. As we come to the close of this first part of our journey together, I want to leave you with a truth that can transform your life from this moment forward. You are not separate from the source of all wealth. You are not distant from the power that creates worlds. You are one with the infinite mind. The same intelligence that holds the stars in their courses holds your prosperity in its loving care. All that is required of you is faith, belief, and the consistent impression of your desires upon your subconscious mind. Do this, and you will see miracles unfold in your life. Do this, and you will understand from your own experience that the kingdom of heaven is truly within you. Meditate on these truths. Let them sink deeply into your consciousness. Practice the techniques I have given you, and prepare yourself, because in the next part of this message, we will go even deeper into the mysteries of creation, consciousness, and the infinite power that is yours to use for wealth, health, and happiness. The journey is just beginning, my friend, and the best is yet to come. My friend, let us continue this sacred journey into the heart of infinite truth. We have established that God is not a being who was created at some point in time, but rather the eternal I Am, the self-existent consciousness that underlies all of creation. We have explored how this understanding transforms your relationship with wealth and abundance. Now we must go deeper still, for there are treasures in the depths of your subconscious mind that are waiting to be discovered, and there are laws of prosperity that, once understood and applied, will change your financial situation forever. Let me begin this portion of our exploration with a truth that may startle you at first, but which, when fully grasped, will liberate you from all financial fear. The truth is this: there is no lack in the universe. There never has been lack, and there never will be lack. Lack is an illusion created by the limited perception of the conscious mind. When you look at the natural world, you see abundance everywhere. Consider the stars in the sky. Astronomers tell us there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of the earth. Consider the leaves on the trees in a single forest. Consider the blades of grass in a meadow. Consider the drops of water in the ocean. Everywhere you look, nature demonstrates that the principle of the universe is abundance, not scarcity. The infinite mind that created all things creates lavishly, extravagantly, without limit. Now here is the application of this truth to your financial life. If the universe operates on the principle of abundance, and if your subconscious mind is one with the universal mind, then the natural state of your life should be abundance, not lack. If you are experiencing lack, it is not because the universe is withholding from you. It is because there is something in your own consciousness that is blocking the flow of abundance into your life. This blockage is always found in your beliefs, your thoughts, your mental attitudes. Change these, and the abundance that is already yours in the infinite mind will begin to flow into your manifest experience. I remember a young man who came to me after one of my lectures in Los Angeles. He was intelligent, hardworking, and ambitious, yet he could never seem to get ahead financially. He would earn money and then lose it. He would find opportunities and then watch them slip away. He was frustrated and confused. He said to me, "Dr. Murphy, I do everything right, but nothing works. I believe in hard work. I believe in persistence. Why am I still poor?" I looked at this young man and I perceived immediately what the problem was. I said to him, "You believe in hard work and persistence, but do you believe in your own worthiness to receive wealth? Do you believe that prosperity is your divine birthright?" The young man was silent for a moment, and then tears came to his eyes. He said, "No, deep down, I do not believe I deserve to be wealthy. My father always told me that our family was destined to struggle, that rich people were dishonest, that I should be grateful for whatever scraps I could get." Here was the root of the problem. This young man had been programmed with beliefs of lack and unworthiness from childhood. These beliefs had been impressed upon his subconscious mind so deeply that they were creating his experience of life, regardless of his conscious efforts to succeed. I gave him specific instructions to reprogram his subconscious. I told him to spend time each day affirming his worthiness to receive wealth. I told him to use affirmations such as "I am worthy of infinite abundance. I deserve to be prosperous. Wealth is my divine birthright." I instructed him to forgive his father for the limiting beliefs he had passed on, understanding that his father had only taught what he himself believed. I told him to visualize himself as a prosperous man, living in comfort and security, free from all financial worry. This young man applied these principles with great dedication. Within 6 months, his financial situation had transformed. He received a promotion at work. He discovered an investment opportunity that multiplied his savings. He met people who opened doors for him that had previously been closed. When he came to see me again, he was a different person, not just financially, but in his entire demeanor. He walked with confidence. He spoke with authority. He radiated an inner peace that comes from knowing one's true nature. He said to me, "Dr. Murphy, I understand now. I was blocking my own good with my own beliefs. When I changed my beliefs, everything changed." This story illustrates a principle that I want to burn into your consciousness. You cannot experience in your outer life what you do not first accept in your inner life. The subconscious mind is always faithful to its programming. If you have been programmed with beliefs of lack, the subconscious will faithfully create experiences of lack, no matter how hard you work on the outer level. But when you reprogram the subconscious with beliefs of abundance, it will just as faithfully create experiences of abundance. This is not magic. This is law. This is the way the mind works. Now let us explore another dimension of the God question that has profound implications for your prosperity consciousness. Many religious traditions have taught that God is pure spirit, immaterial, invisible, and eternal. This is true, but what many have failed to understand is that this spiritual substance is the source and substance of all material things. Spirit and matter are not opposites. They are different expressions of the same underlying reality. The material world is spiritual substance taking form. Money is spiritual substance taking the form of a medium of exchange. Your body is spiritual substance taking human form. Everything you see around you is the invisible made visible, the intangible made tangible, the spiritual made material. When you understand this truth, your relationship with money transforms completely. You no longer see money as something separate from the spiritual life. You no longer feel guilty about desiring wealth. You understand that when you seek financial abundance, you are seeking greater expression of the spiritual substance that underlies all things. You are not being materialistic. You are being spiritually intelligent. The person who lives in poverty and tells themselves it is virtuous to lack is deceived. They have bought into a lie that serves no one. God, the infinite spirit, takes pleasure in your prosperity because your prosperity is the expression of divine abundance in human form. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this principle beautifully. She used to say that you must make friends with money. What does this mean? It means you must stop resenting wealth. You must stop envying those who have more than you. You must stop criticizing the rich. Every time you speak negatively about money or wealthy people, you are programming your subconscious mind to reject wealth. You are telling your deeper mind that money is bad, that rich people are evil, that you do not want to be associated with prosperity. And your subconscious, ever faithful, will ensure that you remain poor so that you can stay true to these beliefs. But when you make friends with money, when you bless wealthy people, when you rejoice in the abundance of others, you are opening the channels through which wealth can flow to you. Let me give you an affirmation that I have seen work wonders in the lives of countless individuals. I bless all wealthy people. I bless all money everywhere. I rejoice in the abundance of the universe, knowing that there is plenty for all. My own prosperity takes nothing from anyone else. I am a beneficial presence in the world, and my wealth blesses everyone it touches. When you can say this with genuine feeling, when you can truly mean it, you have transformed your money consciousness at the deepest level. Now, my friend, let us consider the question of divine timing. Many people become discouraged when they begin applying these principles because they do not see immediate results. They affirm prosperity for a week or two, and when the money does not appear, they give up and say that these principles do not work. But this reveals a misunderstanding of how the subconscious mind operates. The subconscious does not work on the conscious mind's timetable. It works according to its own laws, which include the law of gestation. Just as a seed planted in the ground requires time to germinate, grow, and bear fruit, so too do the mental seeds you plant in your subconscious require time to manifest in your outer world. Jesus spoke of this when he said that the kingdom of heaven is like a seed that a man plants and then goes about his daily life. Night and day, whether he sleeps or wakes, the seed sprouts and grows, though he knows not how. The earth produces of itself first the blade, then the ear, then the full grain in the ear. This is a perfect description of how the subconscious mind works. You plant the seed through your affirmations, visualizations, and beliefs. Then you go about your life, maintaining your faith and expectation. The subconscious works in ways you cannot perceive, making connections, opening doors, attracting opportunities. And in due time, the manifestation appears. Your job is not to dig up the seed to see if it is growing. Your job is to maintain your faith, continue your mental work, and trust the process. Carl Jung made a profound observation that relates to this principle. He said that what you resist persists, and what you look at disappears. In other words, when you constantly focus on what you lack, when you worry and fret about money, when you resist your current financial condition, you are actually giving it power and permanence. But when you accept your current situation without resistance, while at the same time holding the vision of your desired state, you allow the transformation to occur. Non-resistance does not mean passive acceptance of lack as permanent. It means not fighting against what is while you work to create what you desire. It means maintaining inner peace, even in the midst of outer challenges. It means trusting that the infinite intelligence within you knows how to bring about your good in ways that your conscious mind cannot foresee. This brings us to another essential principle, the power of gratitude. If you want to accelerate the manifestation of wealth in your life, there is no more powerful practice than cultivating genuine gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude is the great multiplier. When you are truly grateful for the abundance you currently possess, no matter how small it may seem, you are putting yourself in vibrational harmony with abundance. You are telling the universe that you appreciate what has been given and that you are ready for more. The subconscious mind responds to gratitude by creating more experiences for which to be grateful. I counsel you to begin each day with a period of conscious gratitude. Before you get out of bed, while your mind is still in that drowsy, receptive state between sleep and waking, thank God for the blessings in your life. Thank God for the roof over your head, for the food you will eat, for the people who love you, for the work you do, for the body that serves you. Thank God for the money you have, even if it seems small. Thank God for the infinite abundance that is even now flowing toward you. Feel the gratitude. Let it fill your heart. Let it overflow into joy. When you begin your day this way, you set a vibrational tone that attracts more good to you. Neville Goddard taught this principle in his own unique way. He said that you must enter into the state of the wish fulfilled and give thanks from that state. In other words, you must imagine that you are already wealthy, and from that imagined state, you thank God for your wealth. This is not pretending or self-deception. This is using the creative imagination to impress the subconscious mind. When you say thank you, God, for my abundant wealth, and you feel the reality of that statement in your heart, you are planting a seed that must produce a harvest of abundance. Now let us address a question that troubles many sincere seekers. They say, Dr. Murphy, if I use these mental techniques to attract wealth, am I not being selfish? Should I not be focusing on spiritual matters rather than material gain? Is it not more noble to renounce money and live in simple poverty? My answer to this is emphatic. There is nothing noble about poverty. There is nothing spiritual about lack. These ideas have been promoted by certain religious traditions that confuse self-denial with spiritual virtue, but they have no basis in the truth of the infinite mind. God does not want you to be poor. God wants you to express the fullness of life in every dimension, including the financial dimension. When you are wealthy, you have more power to do good in the world. You can give more generously to worthy causes. You can help those in need. You can create jobs for others. You can support the arts, education, and healing. Poverty limits your ability to serve. Wealth expands it. The Bible is filled with examples of prosperous servants of God. Abraham was exceedingly wealthy. Job, even after his restoration, had more than he had before. Solomon's riches were legendary. Joseph became the second most powerful man in Egypt. These were not people who renounced material abundance. They were people who understood that God is the source of all supply and that serving God and being prosperous are not contradictory. In fact, they are complementary. Your prosperity is a sign of your spiritual understanding. It is evidence that you have learned to work with the laws of mind. It is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with the infinite abundance of God. Now, my friend, let us turn our attention to the practical matter of creating specific financial goals and impressing them upon the subconscious mind. It is not enough to have a vague desire for more money. You must be specific. You must know exactly how much money you want and for what purpose. The subconscious mind responds to clarity. When you give it a clear, specific goal, it can work efficiently to bring that goal into manifestation. But when you give it vague desires, it produces vague results. Napoleon Hill emphasized this principle throughout his work. He said that the starting point of all achievement is definiteness of purpose. You must know exactly what you want. You must be able to describe it in detail. You must write it down and read it daily. You must think about it constantly until it becomes an obsession. When your goal is this clear and this dominant in your consciousness, the subconscious mind cannot fail to bring it about. Here is a technique that I have taught to many students with remarkable results. Take a piece of paper and write at the top, "My financial goal." Below that, write the exact amount of money you desire to have by a specific date. Be reasonable, but also be bold. The infinite mind has no limits, but your subconscious mind must believe that the goal is possible. So choose a goal that stretches you beyond your current situation, but that you can accept as achievable. Below the amount and date, write a brief description of what you will do to earn or attract this money. This does not mean you must know every detail of how it will come, but you should have a general sense of the value you will give in exchange for the money you receive. Remember, money is a medium of exchange. You receive money by providing value to others. The more value you provide, the more money you receive. So consider how you can increase the value you offer to the world. Finally, at the bottom of the paper, write a statement of faith, something like, "I believe with complete conviction that I will have this amount by this date. I trust the infinite intelligence within me to guide me to the people, circumstances, and opportunities that will make this possible. I am grateful in advance for my abundant prosperity." Read this paper aloud to yourself every morning and every evening. As you read it, visualize yourself having already achieved the goal. Feel the emotions you will feel when the money is in your hands. See yourself living the life that this money will make possible. Do this faithfully for 30 days, and you will be astonished at what begins to happen in your life. Now I want to speak to you about the importance of mental imagery in wealth manifestation. The subconscious mind thinks in images, not words. Words are the tools of the conscious mind. Images are the language of the subconscious. This is why visualization is so powerful. When you create vivid mental images of wealth and abundance, you are speaking directly to the subconscious in its native language. Let me describe a visualization technique that has proven extraordinarily effective for manifesting money. Find a comfortable place where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. Now, in your imagination, create a vivid picture of your bank statement. See the numbers clearly. See your name on the account. See the balance showing the exact amount you desire. Make the image as clear and detailed as possible. Notice the paper, the font, the colors. Now feel the emotions that accompany seeing this balance. Feel the relief, the security, the joy, the gratitude. Hold this image and these feelings for as long as you can, at least 5 to 10 minutes. When you practice this visualization regularly, something remarkable happens. Your subconscious mind begins to accept this image as real. It cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and an actual experience. And since the subconscious always works to create outer conditions that match inner beliefs, it will begin to attract the money that corresponds to the image you have been holding. Let me share with you a case that illustrates the power of this technique. A school teacher came to me who was struggling to make ends meet on her modest salary. She wanted to buy a house, but could not see how she would ever save enough for a down payment. I taught her the visualization technique I have just described. I told her to visualize her savings account with the exact amount she needed for the down payment. She practiced this visualization every night before falling asleep and every morning upon awakening. After 3 months, something unexpected happened. An elderly relative she had lost touch with passed away and left her an inheritance that was almost exactly the amount she had been visualizing. The teacher was amazed. She said to me, "Dr. Murphy, it is as if the universe read my mind and gave me exactly what I needed." I said to her, "That is precisely what happened." The infinite intelligence within your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal mind, orchestrated circumstances to bring about the fulfillment of your mental image. Now, my friend, you may be wondering whether this technique will work for you. You may be thinking that you are different, that your circumstances are more difficult, that this sounds too good to be true. Let me assure you that the laws of mind work for everyone without exception. The sun shines on the just and the unjust alike. The law of gravity does not care who you are or what you believe, and the law of the subconscious mind operates with the same impersonal precision. Anyone who applies these principles correctly will get results. The only question is whether you will apply them with sufficient consistency and faith. The Bible tells us that God is no respecter of persons. This means that the divine laws operate impartially for all. You do not need to be special, talented, educated, or lucky to manifest wealth. You simply need to understand the law and apply it. The same creative power that works for the millionaire works for you. The same infinite intelligence that guides the successful entrepreneur will guide you. The only difference between you and those who have achieved great wealth is in how they use their minds. Change how you use your mind, and you will change your results. Let us now discuss the role of the spoken word in wealth manifestation. We have talked about thoughts and mental images, but words also have tremendous power. The Bible says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is not metaphor. This is literal truth. The words you speak are creative. They carry vibration and energy. They impress themselves upon your subconscious mind and the subconscious minds of those who hear them. When you speak words of abundance, you are reinforcing your prosperity consciousness. When you speak words of lack, you are undermining your own efforts. I counsel you to become acutely aware of the words you use, especially when talking about money. Never say, "I cannot afford it." This phrase is a command to your subconscious mind to keep you in a state where you cannot afford things. Instead, say, "How can I afford it?" This turns a statement of lack into a question that engages your creative mind in finding solutions. Never say money is hard to come by. This programs your subconscious to make money difficult for you. Instead, say money comes to me easily and frequently from expected and unexpected sources. Never say I am poor. This is one of the most destructive statements you can make, for it links the sacred I am presence with poverty. Instead, say I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am abundant. Florence Scovel Shinn was a master of the spoken word. She understood that specific words and phrases, spoken with faith and conviction, have the power to transform circumstances rapidly. She created what she called affirmation treatments, positive statements designed to impress the subconscious mind with desired outcomes. One of her most powerful affirmations for wealth is this: infinite spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right now reach me in great avalanches of abundance. Give thanks that everything is accomplished. I encourage you to use this affirmation daily, speaking it aloud with complete conviction. Now, my friend, as we near the conclusion of this teaching, I want to address the deepest dimension of the question we began with. If God created everything, who created God? We have seen that this question dissolves when we understand that God is not a being who was created, but the eternal I Am, the infinite consciousness that is the source and substance of all creation. We have explored how this understanding transforms your relationship with wealth and abundance. But there is one more insight that I want to leave with you, one that will complete the circle and bring you to a place of unshakable confidence in your ability to manifest any good you desire. The insight is this: you are the presence of God individualized. You are not separate from the infinite mind. You are a focal point through which the infinite mind experiences and expresses itself. When you say I am, you are speaking the same words that God spoke to Moses. You are invoking the same creative power that brought the universe into being. The difference between you and God is not one of kind, but of degree. You are like a wave in the ocean. The wave is made of the same water as the ocean. It has the same properties, the same essence. But the wave is not the entire ocean. It is the ocean expressing itself in a particular form, at a particular place, at a particular time. This understanding has profound implications for your sense of identity and power. You are not a worm of the dust, groveling before an all-powerful deity. You are a son or daughter of the Most High, endowed with creative powers that reflect those of the infinite mind itself. You have the ability to think, to imagine, to believe, and to create. These are divine powers. When you use them consciously and deliberately, you are fulfilling your purpose as an expression of the infinite mind. You are doing what you were created to do. So let me ask you now, what will you create with these divine powers? What kind of life will you imagine for yourself? What beliefs will you hold in your heart? What words will you speak? The answer to these questions will determine your future. The laws of mind are always operating. Your subconscious is always listening. Every thought, every image, every word is a seed planted in the garden of your soul. What kind of harvest do you want to reap? I invite you to make a decision right now as you hear these words. Decide that you will no longer entertain thoughts of poverty and lack. Decide that you will fill your mind with images of abundance and prosperity. Decide that you will speak words of wealth and success. Decide that you will align your consciousness with the infinite riches of the universe. When you make this decision and follow through with consistent action, you will see miracles unfold in your life that you cannot now imagine. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The infinite power is within you. The creative intelligence that fashioned the stars and the galaxies is within you, waiting to be directed by your thought and belief. This is not wishful thinking. This is the nature of reality. This is who you are. This is what you are capable of. The only question is whether you will accept it and act upon it. Remember the words of Jesus: "It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." The gift is already given. The supply is already provided. The abundance is already yours in the mind of God. Your task is simply to accept it, to open your consciousness to receive it, to remove the mental blocks that have been keeping it from you. And so, my friend, as we conclude this sacred journey together, I leave you with this truth. The God who created everything is not some distant being who must be persuaded to bless you. The God who created everything is the infinite consciousness that lives and moves and has its being within you right now. You and the Father are one. The same creative power that spoke the worlds into being is your power to use. Use it wisely. Use it boldly. Use it for wealth, for health, for happiness, for love, for success, for every good thing your heart desires. Go now with the confidence that comes from knowing who you truly are. Go with the faith that moves mountains. Go with the expectation of good that opens all doors. The universe is for you. The infinite mind supports you. The kingdom of heaven is yours. Accept it, believe it, live it, and watch your life transform into a demonstration of the abundant goodness of God. This is the truth that sets us free. This is the power that changes lives. This is the secret of the ages, now revealed to you. Use it, my friend. Use it every day. And never forget that you are one with the infinite power that creates worlds. Nothing is too good for you. Nothing is impossible for you. The only limits are those you place upon yourself with your own thoughts and beliefs. Let those limits dissolve now. Let the infinite abundance flow into your life now. Let the kingdom of heaven manifest in your experience now. It is your birthright. It is your destiny. It is God's good pleasure to give it to you. Accept it with joy and gratitude and go forth to live the magnificent life that awaits you.